some things now. This little chromatic line that goes into the start of the piece, just do your best to get the notes. Even if you just ripped up the instrument, it would be the desired effect, so you don't have to be worried about getting everything all perfect like that. Strive for it, of course, because that'll teach you your chromatic scale. Now, you see how the computer, to make it sound right, that's what it looks like to play nice and staccato with the computer. Dutton, 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 dutton. But of course, that's just needlessly, what's the word? It's messy on the eyes. So, watch this. Before I set this up in a score, I'm going to take that music that's written currently like a bunch of eighth notes and eighth rests, and we're going to change it so it just says quarter notes, and then I'm just going to ask you to play it in staccato. So just like that, it's a lot simpler. You're just playing quarter notes there, you see? Now, what are you actually playing? Well, if you look at some of the material that was used to create this piece, we're going back and forth between a perfect fourth and a major third. And then there's different versions of perfect fourths and major thirds. So if you have, let's say, the flute section, and they're playing a perfect fourth. Now, this player goes down a full step, this player goes down a half step, and we go to a major third. So, in training, what you want to do is be able to play a perfect fourth. But a synthesizer, or a piano, or a keyboard is not capable of playing a perfect fourth. Because what happens is they equally tune a keyboard to make everything work in all the different keys. But a perfect fourth, when it's actually played perfectly in tune, has no waves in it at all. It's perfectly still. So you're going to need to practice a perfect fourth moving to a major third. Now, the only thing that happens later on, as you'll hear, or as you have already heard by listening to the CD, is that we add a rhythm to it. And then the accents work. Okay? Now, as we go on in the score, I'll show you more stuff. But first, I will need to edit all of these eighth notes here. I need to edit all of those so that they are only quarter notes, because that way it's a lot easier on your eyes. So here I'm taking those eighth notes and eighth silences, and we're just going to convert them very simply to quarter notes. And then later on, when I put this into the typesetting program, we'll just add staccato marks on each of those quarter notes, and you'll get the idea to play it nice and short. So you can see how much easier that made the music look. Now, if you look down at the harp part, that seems to be the part which is doing the most work in this section. But look how easy the fingerings are when you see that at the keyboard. Again, we're looking for a perfect fourth that goes to a major third. So the harp part, if you try to play it with one hand, maybe that's a little bit tricky. But if you use just two hands like this, see, it's very simple. So these are the kind of things that happen all throughout the score, and I'm going to show you some things that are going to really help you to get this piece to sound really good, and no other 7th grade band's ever going to sound like this. Okay, so now we'll go back to playing the piece, and I'll try to talk to you as things are playing. So you want to get a good mix between the xylophone and the woodwinds, nice and crispy. nice unison in that low brass section with the bari sax and the bassoon and the bass clarinet. See, nothing's too difficult there now. All the harp glisses are on the white keys. There's that rhythm, which later on I will add articulations to. Da 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 da. A nice brass sound here. Okay, here comes one of my favorite parts. Okay, so in order to pull off the feeling of this modulation in time to a different tempo, watch what happens. It's not really that tricky. We go into 3/4 right here, which right now in this version of the score is measure 44. And the conductor obviously is going to conduct is like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And the people playing the dotted quarters are going to think 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, when it goes to this 12/8 bar, the dotted quarter automatically gets those same 3/8 notes. So the conducting is going to change to allow for this retard that's going to happen. Now watch this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now we keep that exact same speed and play 1, 1, 1, 1. And now it's very easy for the conductor to control a retard. So watch that again, because this is sort of a cool thing. So as soon as you go into that 3/4 bar, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you could do a nice big retard there. See, all these things are going to be turned into rolls when I get into Sibelius. Now here comes the flute solo. You have to have just the right mix of the voices and the bassoon and the French horn and the flute and the harp and the orchestra bells and the oboe. And all these colors add up to this different picture, very, very much in contrast to what we just heard. Clarinets, la, 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 have to move very, very softly. Trumpet parts you have optional there. You can take it down if you need to. Same thing, trumpets, you can take this down if you need to. Now see, these are going to be short again, like the beginning. Bum, 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 bum. Staccato, but I'm writing them that way so it's less on the eyes. I'll have to edit that. See that? I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so I've edited that down to the quarter notes, and now you're thinking once again of a perfect fourth, which is collapsing to a major third. Okay, and you know, maybe the most difficult part in this whole section is right down there in the tambourine part, because the tambourine player plays on the upbeats. But if that's too difficult, play both the downbeat and the upbeat, and try to accent the upbeat so that that sticks out a little bit. This is measure 83, where it goes back to the dark dance. And I've already made the edits on the quarter notes. Articulations will be da 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 da. Okay, now you know one of the most difficult sections in this thing is where it says with innocence. As I was writing it, I was thinking, wow, this is really hard. And at first you guys are going to look at this and say, what the heck is he talking about? That's not hard. But you see, it really is. The music that's fast and difficult sounding, you know, that is easier to make happen. Everybody's playing, there's energy, there's excitement. I just want to call your attention to this little innocent looking bassoon line. Can you see that okay? It's here. Now what it looks like is 1, 2, 3. Da, dee, da, dee, da, 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 da. That's what it looks like. And I'm using this as an example to show you what your challenge is in this whole piece, in any piece of music where you're trying to make music. That little innocent line is really 1, 2, 3. La dee da dee la dee dee. See? Now to us, looking at the paper, and for me to write it, it looks like quarter notes, eighth notes, half notes. You can't write the music. The music is something that you have to make, and only you could make it. So that's what I'm trying to share with you, that this is dots on a page, which later is going to look better because we're going to typeset it for you, but it needs to be turned into music. So all of these lines and shapes need to really, really show what's going on inside of you. Okay, I'm trying to think about anything else that I need to say. Of course, you guys are going to be left with the work. These are just my initial sketches, you know, the perfect fourth, the major third, and then if you invert those, in other words, you take the bottom note and put it on the top, then you would get a perfect fifth and a perfect fourth. And sometimes that happens in the piece. See, this is the feeling of the da 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 da. That's the whole feeling of those harmonies when they come in the piece. And then of course you have the flute solo and all that comes to mean, which is just a function of what's inside of you. So this is my little workshop, the Storm Lab I call it, where I have written for you the piece Technesophia, and Techne is craft and Sophia is art, and that is a dance of the Wooly Master. And a Wooly Master is a person who has mastered Kung Fu, and they understand this paradoxical not conflict, but simultaneously joined event of both sides, the art and the craft. And that's what happens really in every piece of music. So here's a piece of music about that. And if I haven't said enough, or if it all came out sounding strange, I'm always available through your teacher on email or telephone. And look, there's a reflection of me shooting. Okay. So I'll see you, and good luck, and Godspeed.